Who were the Moors who captured the Iberian Peninsula in Europe? What was their relationship to Africa? Hi, welcome to another episode of the Sankofa Pan African series. Please take a moment to press the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Thank you. Now, starting from around 1300 BC, the history of Northern Africa becomes really complex. For instance, Egyptians record the presence of semi-nomadic groups such as the Berbers or Amazighs in the Maghreb from around the 1300 around 1300 BC, from around this period. Now, the Maghreb is the area which covers the region of North Africa bordering the Mediterranean Sea. It constituted what in ancient times was sometimes called Africa Minor. And at a point, it was actually part of Moorish-dominated Spain. Now, the Maghreb is the area which currently comprises the Atlas Mountains and the coastal plains of Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya. The Maghreb is still peopled by Berbers and Arab ethno-linguistic groups today. Now, the Berbers or Amazighs, as they are sometimes called, are believed to be partly descended from early inhabitants of the region, as recorded by the Egyptians. Due to various waves of migrations and invasions, including invasions by the Phoenicians, Greeks, Romans, Vandals, and Arabs, the area is very genetically and culturally mixed. And those of you who have been following our history of Egypt and neighboring areas will see that there are a lot of comments by present day people from this area who don't want to be really identified as Africans. But the fact of the matter is that they've been there for generations, and they are Africans, whether or not they admit that they are. Now, so, like I said, the area known as the Maghreb, was conquered at various times by various people, Greeks, Romans, Vandals, Arabs, and so it accounts for the fact that DNA today shows a genetic mix, so that sometimes you find that a lot of people there have more in common with these people than they have with people who came from the hinterland Africa. And it's also culturally very, very mixed. It's culturally, there's a lot more there now that links them, people in the Maghreb, to Arabs and all that. Now, so about 1/6 of the population of the area is today still speak one form of a Berber language or another, but most also speak some Arabic. Now, to further illustrate, a Phoenician colony was established in Carthage by Tyre in 1814 BC. In the area which now constitutes modern-day Tunis. So Carthage, the famous Carthage, was actually part of the area that we now know as Tunisia. Carthage then developed from and it was founded by Phoenicians. It then developed into a colony and a capital, a major capital city in the Mediterranean area. And by 206 BC, Carthage was firmly established as part of the Roman Empire. But before then, around 630 BC, Greek colonists founded the city of Cyrene in present-day northern Libya. Again, around 429 AD, the Vandals, a marauding Germanic group, invaded the Maghreb, which was still at the time under Roman rule. But by around 442 AD, Rome was then forced to concede its African territories to these Germanic Vandals. So, starting from about 468 AD, the Eastern Roman Empire, or Byzantine, also known as Byzantine, which is what the remnant of the Roman Empire, after it lost some of its territory, became known as the Byzantine Empire. But it kept also conquering, making attempts to conquer more lands in North Africa from the Vandals, until it finally succeeded in 534 AD. It then re-established a Roman rule, which was unsuccessfully, which the Berbers tried to resist, but they did not succeed. And so the Byzantine Empire then merged its areas of conquest in North Africa with its Spanish conquest into what was then called the Exarchate of Africa. Although most of the period under various colonizers was marked by regional attempts to resist and religious conflicts and social unrest, the area continued to prosper, surprisingly. It was finally attacked and then conquered in the 698 AD by a Muslim army from Egypt, which sacked Carthage, thereby ending Roman and Christian rule, which is why today we find that almost solidly the majority of countries and populations in northern African area are Muslims. Now, according to P. Salama, Roman domination held sway in North Africa for between 400, a total of 400 and 500 years. Interestingly, it was around this same period that Muslim Moors, who were people of Arab and Berber descent, then crossed the Strait of Gibraltar into the Iberian Peninsula. In a series of raids spanning about 8 years, starting in 711 AD, they progressively conquered Visigoth Christian Hispania. The Visigoths were also a Germanic tribe which had overrun the latter part of the Roman Empire. So this conquest of North African Moors brought most of the Iberian Peninsula under an Islamic caliphate, which then lasted over 7.5 centuries, 750 years, until its conquest was complete in 1492. The Iberian Peninsula is so just so that we can place it, the Iberian Peninsula is the southwestern corner of Europe. So it's a solid piece in the southwestern part of Europe. It is principally the area which covers Portugal, Spain, Andorra, and some parts of France, as well as Gibraltar. So I hope this explains the relationship between the Moors who captured the Iberian Peninsula and Africa. So yeah, so I look forward to seeing you next time. Help us to keep bringing you our history by subscribing, sharing our videos, giving us a thumbs up, and liking us. Thank you.